One thing that's always true around here is that we're usually up to something. I firmly believe that one of the greatest gifts we can give our kids isn't a perfect education plan or a perfectly curated childhood. It's experiences. Real experiences. The kind that let them meet interesting people, see how things are made, ask questions, and discover possibilities they didn't even know existed. So when an opportunity comes along to learn something new, meet someone with a unique skill, or step into a world that's completely different from our everyday routine, we usually say yes. Today is one of those days. The kids don't know exactly what to expect, and honestly, neither do I. But that's part of the fun. Some of the best learning happens when you walk into something unfamiliar with an open mind and a willingness to try. So come along with us as we hit the road for another adventure. I have a feeling this is going to be one they'll be talking about for a long time. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Homestead Education Podcast. We have such an awesome opportunity today because we were invited to come down and do an on site podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and let these guys introduce themselves. But as you can see, we are at Fire Iron Forge, and I'm going to turn it over to them.
Hello, my name is Will Branson. I am owner of Athol Ironworks and I am the head instructor at Fire Iron Forge.
And my name is David. I'm the owner and instructor at Fire Iron Forge.
So, guys, I really appreciate you having us down today. We have the kids here. We're gonna, maybe like play, get our hands dirty a little bit. I guess play is not the right word when we're talking about hot and sharp things.
Sure.
But for those of us who, work in the trades and farm and have lived that life, that is play to us. So,
Sure.
I'd love to hear a little bit about each of you and like why you started this business and why you do what you do.
Sure. You want to start? This is
Sure,
cool.
yeah. I started blacksmithing a long time ago when I was real little, but didn't really get serious about it until I got older. And I've always just loved teaching, and I'm pretty good at teaching. And so when I was looking at doing blacksmithing as a career, I thought, shoot, let's make a school. That's what I really like, so let's do that. And so that's kind of what got Fire Iron Forge started. And a couple years into it, met Will, and me and him just hit it off real well. We joke around like he's my older brother I've ever had, but we both like the same kind of things. He's also a really good blacksmith and a really good instructor, and so I go, hey, come on and start teaching some classes with us, and then that kind of grew and grew and grew, which allowed me to kind of work on the business side of the school, and so that's kind of where we are today, where he teaches most of our classes, I teach a little, and then I kind of work on running the school and doing all that kind of stuff and custom work and orders and things like that.
That's awesome. You know, everybody, I hear so many people say, like, I knew I was going to be a teacher one day. And for me, I was like, I will never be a teacher. And my entire career has been like coaching, consulting, teaching.
For sure.
So I'm glad you found something like that you can combine the two things you're good at. So let's hear a little bit about you.
For me, it's
I'm a toucher.
that's all right. I've always been the kind of person to want to make my own stuff, whatever that is, from making my own computer to fixing my own cars to whatever it is. And getting into blacksmithing was kind of just the lowest common denominator of that. You get further and further down. You're like, how do I make a hammer? How do I make a chisel? How do I make my own tools? That kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I kind of got into it. I don't know, a decade plus ago, off and on, and just progressed and progressed, and eventually it either had to become the job or get out of the way of the job, and it's been a blessing so far. So.
That I love how you're like, that's the common denominator of that. And like you found something that like worked for you.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm kind of, similar with the teaching, like I'm definitely like to do things myself, but it usually turns out more as I'm going to do it myself.
Pretty much, yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
that's turned into what I've done, which is creating the curriculum off of wanting to just teach my kids ag. So I
Awesome.
love that you were able to find that and
Sure.
bring it together. So you said you guys have a school,
Hmm.
but I think that's kind of like for my questions a little bit like cart before the horse.
Okay.
Um, how did you get into blacksmithing? Because that's not like when you
It's
take
not a
your
normal
when you
thing.
take your career aptitude test, it's not like you would be best suited as a doctor, lawyer, or blacksmith.
Yeah,
So
so it's a bit of a story. I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. The When I was growing up, it was just me and my mom. And God bless her, she let me watch movies I had no business watching as like a
Eh.
child. And so I grew up in the '80s, and so
See my
watching,
kid nodding his head back there? Yeah.
so watching things like Conan the Barbarian, Highlander,
Oh yeah.
all the Ninja Turtle stuff came out when I was a kid.
Hmm.
So there was a lot of like weaponry stuff that was cool. I was also like really into like martial arts and thought that was cool. I was really a big fan of Bruce Lee. Like I read his book, yeah, when it came out.
I didn't even know he
Uh,
had a book, so.
yeah, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. But anyhow, so I was really into weapons and all that kind of stuff, and so I always loved that. And my mom, she just like let me do all of that.
That's
So
cool.
I was really, really young, like 6 years old, like with ninja stars, butterfly knives, like real katanas. I had real size. I had all kinds of like very real, very serious weapons as a kid.
You
Um,
keep seeing me like making eyes at my kid, right?
but yeah, so yeah, it was something that I always liked weapons, and so then I kind of got into making them because I really wanted to make them. And so I played around with a bunch of different kind of weapon making stuff when I was a kid, and then like junior high, high school came around, and then like everything that I was interested in got replaced with like girls and snowboarding. And so that was kind of
And
like junior high and high school. That was like
yeah,
that
and
was
the
that
guy
was
that
all that
like shows up
existed.
to a date with a ninja star, like.
Right. And so
Although I had
anyhow,
a guy show up to a date with a shotgun one time and say we're going trap shooting, so
that sounds like a good
that's
time.
right.
So yeah, so kind of I got married pretty shortly after high school, and so I wanted to come back to really knife making at the time because I really wanted to make swords. And so I'm a big adult in my early 20s, thinking, oh, I'm going to come back to this and sort it all out. And I didn't know that people still did blacksmithing. I didn't know it was still a thing.
Hmm.
And this was like in like the mid to late 90s. And so like the internet existed, but it had like forums. It wasn't like we didn't have
Hmm.
Facebook. Like we might have had
Yeah.
YouTube, but when YouTube started, it was people's like home videos
Had to
and
go to
stuff.
the library.
Right. Yeah. And so,
It
anyhow,
was basically just like America's Funniest Home Videos
yeah.
and not
Right.
as good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. No, exactly. And so, yeah, I found a blacksmithing forum there where there were some guys that like, I was like, oh, like other people do this. And then I was practicing with doing random things with a railroad track and a weed burner to get my steel hot and pliers, and like a claw hammer, just whatever I could get my hands on. And going, okay, guys, like I'm doing this, but then this is happening and that's not what I want. And so they were really helpful. And they go, oh, well, what about this? You could try this. Here's some books. Here's some classes you can go to, get connected with the California Blacksmith Association. And anyhow, all these different kinds of things. And it was like, oh, cool. Like there's a bunch of stuff that's helpful. And I started making knives and then hated making knives. I made like maybe a dozen or so, and then was like, oh, like when you really get into knife making, there's only like 30% of it's actual forging, and that's the part that I really liked. I
Mm.
liked being at the anvil. But all the other knife stuff is like gluing and sanding and more sanding and then grinding and then more sanding and then polishing. And I was like, man, I was super bummed out because it's like, okay, if I'm not going to make knives, like what else could I possibly do? And anyhow, like a week or two goes by, and I
I was
go,
gonna say that's gonna bring me back to one of the questions I've had like burning in my head. So
okay, so yeah, so I go really like whining and complaining to these guys who are like, oh, I hate making knives. What else can I make? And it's like anything you can
You've just
think of out
started.
of metal,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
like literally anything, dude. It was like, oh, okay, cool. And so yeah, I love like art. I like drawing. I like painting. I like sculpture with clay, and did a lot of that in high school and a little bit of college. And so I like art stuff, but I also like stuff that's really practical and useful.
hmm.
And so blacksmithing fits those things really, really well together. And so that's really what really got me turned on with blacksmithing and really into it. But it's not anything I ever thought I would do as a job. It's not anything I ever thought would be a career. It was just something like friends from church, freaking neighbors, my kids when they were younger, their friends, like anybody that would tolerate listening to me, ramble on about blacksmithing stuff or come try it. Yeah, I was like, hey, come on, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's make a thing. And so that was kind of it. And then that just kind of slowly kept growing and growing and growing and growing until, yeah, we started teaching knife classes just on the weekends. And we put up a thing on our Facebook as an event. And then people started really showing up to that. And then we were doing that
I
once a
bet.
week, or sorry, once a month, then twice a month. Then we were doing it 4 times a month. And then I was talking to my wife and I'm like, hey, like if we can do some stuff during the week, like I think I might be able to do this for a living. And she's so funny. She's not like an entrepreneur type of person. Like she's like, nope, you do your 40 hours a week, you get your pension, you retire, and then that's how you live your life. Like that is how it goes. As where my family's opposite. My family's very entrepreneurial, and so I go, let's try it, and if it doesn't work,
I
then
say
who
I'm a
cares?
serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Right,
That's
right,
awesome.
right. And
Yeah.
so it was like, hey, look, let's try it. And if it gets off the ground, then how cool is that? And if it doesn't, like, no problem. I'll go back to working a day job, like everybody else. But yeah, it took off.
Man, when you
Gosh,
decide to like leave the day job, you will make it work.
yeah, right. Yeah, you got to burn the ships to take the island,
Yes.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so that's kind of what got everything started,
Mhm.
at
That
least for me.
I like how it's you weren't like I went and found another blacksmith to teach me. You were like I was out there just banging on stuff in my backyard. I was gonna figure it out.
For
So
sure, yeah. It was a school of hard knocks. Well, I didn't know other people still did it, and then
mhm.
but then it was because I had like, gosh, probably a year or so of just forging around and trying to find out, just okay, just boogering things up and ruining things, and then it was like, oh, like here's a book, like oh, here's like instructions on how to do what I'm trying to
Yeah.
do, and then other blacksmiths that I could talk to and find out, oh, that's right, this is how that is, and then just lots of learning, and then classes. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is everything that I was looking for. The thing that was super exciting was the CBA, California Blacksmith
Mhm.
Association, has a curriculum that they made for learning how to
Really?
blacksmith,
Mhm.
and then later was adopted by an organization called Habana, which is the Artist Blacksmith Association of North America. But it was the CBA's first, and so I got exposed to it first there, and then it was amazing because it was like, hey, like here's everything you need to learn in a very like well thought out, laid out method and form. And so I was just like, man, this is like I wish I would have had this. And so let's go through this and learn this really well. And that's what we teach.
Kind of a bittersweet lesson I learned myself because I spent many years banging my head against an anvil to try to
I
figure
was gonna
stuff
be like,
out.
what were you banging
Yeah,
your head against? It's like
And
there's a lot of hard objects in
and
here.
getting involved with the curriculum, and even at the level I was at, it refined a lot of my skills going back and then forcing myself to go through the basics again and learn it through the curriculum. So it was a lesson to be learned for sure.
So how did you get started? Were you
I
just banging
got
on stuff in the backyard
I
too,
got the
or?
bug where I was at an Irish fair at maybe I was mid-teens,
Uh-huh.
14ish, and I watched a blacksmith make a horseshoe, and he said, "I'm going to make a horseshoe in 90 seconds," and just watching him knock it out like that was just an amazing thing. The fire, the sparks, the hammers, and the tools, and I mean, I was sold, for sure.
That's cool. This morning I was telling my younger boys where we were coming today, which they're the type that if you tell them a week in advance, you hear about it, constantly. So I kind
Sure.
of like waited to the last minute. And I was like, do you remember, seeing him at the Mountain Mafia where we at,
Mhm.
where you were watching? Nope. Oh, okay. Well, let's watch a video about it. And so I brought up a couple different YouTube videos. One was like specifically for kids that was kind of cartoony, and then one was how to make a knife. And I mean, they're both just sitting there, just wrapped, like eating their breakfast. And they get to the end, and I mean, Wade's like, "That is so cool.
Mhm.
That's like that guy I saw at Mountain Mafia." I was, yes, but
That's
I mean,
funny.
that part clicked with him so much. Like
Mhm.
the words, it was just like how neat he thought it was seeing
Yeah.
it. So the question that I've like is kind of not really like a burning question, but like I think a lot of people when they think of blacksmithing, like we grew up with horses, so I saw a blacksmith, several times a year. And I find that interesting. You said the California Blacksmithing Association, really took control of that. I grew up in Northern California and I saw blacksmiths everywhere.
Yeah.
It was not rare for me. So then when I kind of get into some different fields, like the homesteading movement and stuff, where then suddenly everybody's like, oh, and you have to learn all these skills like blacksmithing. And I was like, oh, I thought that was pretty like at least normal enough that there was like a few in every town,
Right.
And I think a lot of people just think that you're only going to find blacksmiths at like Colonial Williamsburg or something.
Mhm.
And you mentioned seeing it at an Irish show. I've seen them at like Civil War enactments and
Yeah.
stuff, which a lot of those guys, yes, they're blacksmiths, but they're not there just as their hobby. They like do it during the day and
Yeah.
then they dress up on the weekends to do
Yeah.
it. What are some other jobs, careers, hobbies that you can do as a blacksmith?
Um, for what I've seen and with my experience, most blacksmiths that do this as a full time, they find their niche.
Hmm.
They find a need and they fill it. There's for me and David, that's teaching. And then we do some fancy stuff on the side when we get opportunities.
Hmm.
But the main part of it is teaching. There's everything from tool making to farrier is probably one of the more
Common, yeah.
common ones that are around. There's any type of there's all kinds of different stuff. I think there was a gentleman who, as a joke, ended up making a pair of monocles, not monocles,
Handcuffs.
handcuffs,
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah.
But the old style of handcuffs.
Uh-huh.
Somebody found a picture of it, and now that's pretty much all he makes, and he ships them all over the world, right?
That's a lot of times how that works.
And yeah, there's a lot of that. Weapon making. There's high-end weapon makers. There's practical weapon makers for a lot of folks that do like live sword fighting and stuff like that. There's a huge difference between a practical, usable sword and a very beautiful one that you want to hang over your fireplace. Right?
And so, I mean, I've seen some beautiful things made that, I mean, you see it and you don't even think that that could be made in a, what do you call it? Blacksmithing software
Forge.
Sure.
forge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't want to say it wrong and look like an idiot, and I did anyway. So, I always like just put myself out there. So, I mean, some of these things are like stunning. I mean, I don't even know what word I'm looking for. Like, do you have a very tiny, like, ball peen hammer to like,
Sometimes.
okay.
Sometimes it's always a little different. The one of the things that I really like, that is not teaching, when we do commissioned work or custom stuff, it's somebody else has the idea, and so it's
Mhm.
something that I would probably never make otherwise, or not even think about making.
I actually do that in my print shop a lot. I'm like,
Okay.
I can do a lot of things. Let's create together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool thing. The One of the things that I talk to people about a lot, because we're a school, is we have people that want to be professional blacksmiths.
Hmm.
Or at least exploring that idea of like, hey, can I even make a living as a blacksmith? We hear a lot, or at least I hear a lot about how blacksmith is a dying art or it's a dying trade. We hear that a lot, which is fine, but it's just not true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no.
The What I usually talk to people about is it's just like owning any other small business.
Mhm.
It's exactly the same. You have to kind of find an audience that has a need and fill that need, and it can be as creative or not creative as you want. Like there's a guy in Canada who makes these swords for splitting wood, and they're not even hardly forged. They're mostly just cut and ground.
Hmm.
But he sells them for a lot of money. He's got like a 6 month waiting list to get these
Wow.
swords
Mhm.
because it's exciting to split wood with
With
a
a sword,
sword
right?
instead of an axe.
All
And
right.
so, like, here's this
Is
guy,
that the trick, boys? Do I need to get
right?
you a sword
A
to split
splitting sword
firewood?
instead of splitting maul. But yeah, so stuff like that. It's just like Will was talking about with the handcuffs, like finding that niche and then figuring out a way to then market it and sell it and promote it, and all
Hmm.
of that kind of stuff
It's
of
like,
just finding
Which,
your.
I mean, I think is a conversation I have with every single business owner.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it's if the business isn't there, you got to go find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could be, a AI engineer right now, but if you're not marketing yourself right, it could be a dying business.
Right.
So,
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, let's talk about the school a little,
Okay.
because I mean, that's really exciting that you have enough students interested that you're actually making a career of this. So
Mhm.
let's hear about it.
We have a wider range of classes that we offer.
Hmm.
So they're usually mm, into two different brackets, I guess, or columns. As we have our blacksmithing curriculum, and there's a level 1, 2, and 3, and they raise in difficulty as you go through. And those are designed to get down into the nuts and bolts of what is a blacksmith and how to actually be a blacksmith. Versus the other set of classes where it's like, I don't know if I want to do this. I've never done it before. Let's have fun in an afternoon and let's make a keychain or a split cross. Or there's no commitment. You can come in, have fun, just
That's
see if you
cool.
like it or not, and then
Yeah,
go home with your cool little thing you made. So
that works.
yeah.
So, what was the decision to start the school? I mean, was it I'm going to start, like, if you build it, they will come, or was there a people saying, I want to learn what you do?
It was a little bit of everything. So when we started with that Facebook page, we created some events there, and it just blew up
Hmm.
in a way that I hadn't anticipated before because it wasn't anything I ever like really tried to do.
Has it
And
always
so
been in this area?
it was originally at our shop in Rathdrum,
Okay,
and
same kind
so
of.
yeah, same kind of
Doesn't
deal.
surprise me that it blew up in North Idaho.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, we started doing mostly knife classes.
Hmm.
We consider those blacksmith experiences as opposed to classes, which
Okay.
in our field, that's an important distinction between something that's a class versus just like Will was saying, kind of a one-time, dip your toes in the water, come check it out. You watched Forged in Fire or some YouTube videos. I can do that. And I go, yeah, you can. Come on, we'll show you how.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so it started out with mostly knife making. And when we
Your
started doing
favorite, right?
those, yeah. So we started doing classes from 8 in the morning until 8 at night, which was bananas. And I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing with that, but I literally taught classes like that for the first month. And the second month we did that for 2 Saturdays. The third month 3 Saturdays, and then by the fourth one, that's when I was like, cool. Like I need to talk to my wife. Like
Yeah.
we need to get insurance. We need to get
Right.
like we need to make this an official thing, not just like a side hustle thing. Like not that it's under the table, but something that was more official, more
Hmm.
legitimate, and get some more anvils and get some more forges, and like
Yeah.
this could be a thing. And so yeah, so that
Just
was
kind of side note, how
yeah.
much does an anvil cost?
It varies wildly.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So maybe if like a student wanted to get into this, they wanted to have one to practice at home.
$120
That's not
up
bad.
to like $5,000.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
bad. But I mean, that's not a student starting at home.
it's really not.
That's the guy with the tiny ball peen hammer, right?
Sometimes,
Okay.
and really, you don't even need to have an official anvil.
Right.
Mhm.
When I started, I used a piece of railroad track that I got, I think at like a garage sale or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
And railroad track is a little bit rounded on the top, and so I took an angle grinder and just ground one side of it down to be flat. And yeah, that's where I made a dozen knives, and I had it literally on the floor. So I was down on my knees with like a towel rolled up for my knees to go on, and pounding on it, holding it with a pair of pliers with a stupid weed burner to get it hot. So it was like, because we get people a lot, they're just like, hey, what do I need to start blacksmithing?
Right.
And I always tell them the only thing you really need to start blacksmithing is just the will to do it. Because if you
Yeah.
have the desire, like you will figure it out,
Right.
and you'll do whatever you can to at least get going. And then once you're going, it's like a hobby with benefits. Like you can go, if you can make some things, then you can sell those things,
Right.
and then you can take that same money and recycle it back into your little shop or your little hobby business or whatever it is, and then upgrade.
We feel
And
the same way about bacon.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's kind of how I got started, and how lots of people do.
When I get that question, I tell folks to go watch videos of folks in like Africa,
Yeah.
the blacksmith. They'll sit there,
Oh, yeah.
they're cross-legged with a hunk of steel they found somewhere, and they're hammering on hot steel right on the ground, cross-legged.
I have
All they
pictures
need
of
is
my
a big
kids
hunk of
doing
steel.
that with screwdrivers trying to break into rocks.
Oh, there you go.
It was a
Yeah.
great weekend last weekend, guys. We went gold panning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How fun.
But I had to laugh at all the kids out there trying to break open rocks with
Sure.
screwdrivers
Oh,
at
yeah.
ranging from 6 to 21. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so what are I mean, I met you guys originally through at a homeschool event, and then we like reconnected again at a rock crawling event.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
who's kind of your normal student?
All of them. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had you kids as young as 6, and I've had them as late 70s. It's they, usually you have homeschool is a big portion of our
Hmm.
younger kids that come in, and then we have young adults, and I usually make a little joke about in the evenings when we have classes, it's usually blacksmithing instead of bowling league. It's the guys that are usually getting off of work and they're just looking to blow
Yeah.
off some steam and that kind of stuff.
That's
So,
a great way to blow off steam. Probably
right.
better than bowling.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, all ages for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Is there, I mean, do you kind of see like a more type of person? I mean, I'm not trying to like profile or anything
Here's
like
what's
that, but
interesting.
like,
From the business side of things, our target audience for like advertising and marketing is like middle-aged women.
because that they want their kids in and they want their
Yes.
husbands in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not who I thought that it would be.
Right.
But yeah, like those are the people that are interested in signing up their kids or signing up their husbands, or coming to classes themselves. Like we have a lot of like hands-on kind of women, especially
Mhm.
up here in North Idaho. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty.
We have
And
a
so
rose making class that's pretty
Oh,
popular.
fun.
yeah, we had there was one year.
Well, I mean, I don't shy away from cutting hog panels with the I don't even know what it's called. I have to call him to get it, but I know how to work it once it's in my hand.
Sure, yeah.
What is
The
angle grinder?
Angle
Thank you.
grinder. There you
the
I
for
was like, where's the round thing that goes on the Sawzall looking thing?
go.
the yeah, it was like I think the first or second year that we were like official as a school. We did some date night classes for Valentine's Day, and it was a huge hit.
Oh, I
And so it's
bet.
just like, oh, like we just need to offer these all year. So now we
As
do.
long as you serve cheesecake at the end.
Well, we don't do that, but maybe we should.
Mm.
Okay, I was gonna sign us up, honey, but I have to have cheesecake on Valentine's Day.
But yeah, so yes, we have a lot of different date night classes,
Mhm.
and then yeah, with the homeschoolers, gosh, I love our homeschoolers.
Mhm.
The One of the things that I really like about kids in blacksmithing is one, it's dangerous, and we're teaching them how to do dangerous things safely, which I think
Dangerous
is
things carefully, love it.
yes,
Right. Yeah.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
which is cool. I love that. But it's also like hard work. Like you're going to be
Hmm.
tired. Your hands
Mhm.
are going to hurt a little bit. Your arms are going to hurt a little bit. You can get burned. You know, like it's something that you're gonna feel done when you're done,
Oh
if
yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
They're
But
also gonna feel accomplishment when they're done
yes,
too.
exactly. So yes, you're going to be tired and hot and sweaty or whatever. But when you're done working, like it's like, hey, here's the thing that I made. You know, it's like mowing the lawn or painting a house or something. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, I did the thing, but look at what I did. There's that immediate gratification, which especially for kids, I love because it's like, hey, look, work hard, give it everything you have,
Hmm.
and be tired. That's great. You'll
Mhm.
rest up and everything will be fine. But like, look at what you did when, as a result of you working hard,
Right.
which is really cool.
See, like I have to wonder, like, did you get my script in advance? Like, did you have something you want to add to that?
Um, there's nothing more rewarding for me as a teacher when you get, you'll get a kid in who's, you can tell like it's mostly, thumbs
Uh-huh.
and joysticks, where they're not very coordinated or
Hmm.
whatever. And then they stick to it and they stick to it. And then they finally make their first tool. They make their first round punch and they get to use it and they see, I made a hole in a hot piece of steel with my own tool.
Yeah.
And, it's the look, the bright eyes, it's the smile. It's like, I'm proud for them,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just an
I know
amazing
that
feeling.
moment.
Right. Yeah.
That's actually been my biggest mission on my speeches this year as I'm traveling the country is that kids need more purpose.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And it's not just whether or not they're on video games or if they're on TVs, it's society in general has taken purpose away
Oh yeah.
from kids onto adults. And I mean, when in our generation, I see so much lack of purpose causing, anxiety and stress and like worthlessness, and seeing so many people encouraging kids to get back into the trades hands on, whether it's creating something tangible like this, creating food, creating, all the things that we have outsourced,
Yeah.
seeing it come back
Mhm.
it's been a amazing movement.
Oh yeah.
I know we're getting close to the end of our time, so I have to get this one little piece
Yeah.
in.
Sure.
I ask everybody on my podcast, what does keep growing mean to you?
Hmm.
I don't know. For me, I think keep growing means just keep doing what we're doing as best as we can. As a blacksmith, first, every time we're making something, like literally every hammer blow, you'd strike the metal, and then as the hammer comes off, you're kind of looking at the work and evaluating it to go, okay, how did that go? What I just hit it. That had an effect. Was that the effect that I wanted? What needs to happen next? And then you come down with the next hammer blow. And I feel like continuing to grow is like that, but just in the terms of life in general. To go, okay, hey, this is kind of what's going on right now. What's coming next? What direction do we want to go in? Like Will and I talk a lot about, hey, like what is it that you want to do? Like, what do you want to do as far as like the future goes? With what are you interested in? What do you think
Mhm.
is going well with the school or with classes or just with blacksmithing in general or blacksmithing like abroad? Like we're
Hmm.
going to a big competition in Italy in 2027
Oh,
Mhm.
to go
wow.
Yeah,
compete.
we're gonna go compete in Italy.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's
that
gonna be
is
Yeah,
fun.
cool.
I went with a group from the California Blacksmith Association this last August, and it was a blast. And they only do it every 2 years, so we're gonna get a group of North Idahoan blacksmiths and
Mhm.
go and compete, which will be really fun.
Yeah.
Oh
But just stuff
wow.
like that, it's one of
You'll have
those
to keep
things.
me like posted on that
Sure.
one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, it should be fun. But yeah, just that idea of continuing to kind of see how things go, and then how can we improve them? How can we
Mhm.
make things better? What's working? Let's do more of that. What's not? Let's get rid of it if it's not, and then let's just keep going
Mhm.
forward.
Do you have one for us?
Um,
You had time to think. That's
yeah,
exciting.
for me, it's, I sometimes you'll have a student that'll say the word like, well, you're the master. And I'm like, no, 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 no. That's nails on a chalkboard to me when I hear somebody call somebody a master. For me, I'm a forever student. I'm just further along than you are. That's the way I try to approach it. Is every day you come in here and your goal is to learn something new, and take it and build on it.
That's awesome. I love that like you've never reached the end.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, I always feel that like, yay, I finally accomplished something. What's next?
Right.
Yes, it's
So
like
sometimes that's a little bit, like how long do you celebrate that accomplishment before you move on? But is there anything else you guys want to add?
One of the things that I was thinking about just kind of as we were talking that I really like when we're not just teaching kids but adults too is the a lot of times when people are coming to Forge, especially for the first time, they're really nervous and they're like, I'm not sure what I can do. I don't know if I can do this. This is kind of hard. It's out of a lot of people's wheelhouse sometimes. And one of the things that is just a really cool gift that Will and I get to participate with people in is like having them grow their own confidence, and not just in blacksmithing. Like there's been a handful of times where I've had a student that is just going, I can't do this. And like they're trying to like give up. And it's like, hey, hold on. Like, so first of all, like you are doing it. You're just not doing it exactly how it needs to be done. But that's okay. Like this is the first time you have ever done this thing. Like we're gonna try this a few more times. And like, hey, let's try this. Let's try that.
Pushing people out of their comfort zone.
Yes, right, right. And kind of helping them walk through that. And then when they're done, going, wow, it's not even about the medal. It's about that sense of accomplishment, that confidence of going, man, like I didn't think I could do this at all with like hard literal evidence of, look, I did this. Like I did this thing that is proof that like, look, I can do this.
And not only
And that's really
that,
exciting.
Where else in life do they suddenly go, if I could do that, I can do this?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes them not scared to try, not scared to fail. You can have a pile of twisted, broken, ugly bits, and that doesn't matter. It's the one good one you've got in your hand. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if somebody wanted to get involved with blacksmithing, where would you tell them to look first?
In northern Idaho, I'd have them go to fireironforge.com or atholironworks.com. Takes you the same place, but you can go to the classes and sign up for something you're interested in. If you're not in the North Idaho area, abana.org would be the best one. abana.org, and you'll find a Abana blacksmith, a artist blacksmiths association in North America. And you can type in your zip code, and it'll tell you the blacksmiths that are in your area.
That's awesome. And I'll make sure I link all that in the show notes. And I really appreciate you guys giving me your time today. And
absolutely, thanks for coming down.
Thank you. And for those of you who have been listening to this, now you want to make sure you definitely switch over to the YouTube because we're going to show you how to do some blacksmithing.
Cool.
Great. Yep, that's what you put back in. We grab a chisel for you tonight.
I'm having Wyatt help him get started. And then Shayna and I are waiting for you to get done so we can take over this station and he can show us both at the same time, kind of.
You got yours in the forge there? You got your hammer right here, okay?
Yeah, how much hammering does he need to do for the texturing on his?
Just more the better.
Okay.
Yep. And I can come and help too.
All right. We just weren't sure how much, so.
You guys gonna really have the excuse to get back this harness.
Right?
Yeah, there's don't worry about clapping.
I like some of those harnesses we saw.
So we're gonna cut most of the way through. We don't want to cut all the way through. And that's what you're thinking. I would cut this one since it's hotter. Let's we use the hammer. So wait a minute. Oh, I can actually put it. I'd come a little further down. There you go. That looks good. Give it a good couple of hits. Okay, a couple more. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay. All right. So we're gonna use the tongs. We're gonna punch it up to the cut. There we go. That's re-solidifying the steel. And once the steel's nice and cold right there, we can bring it to the edge of the end there and just gently tap and not break that piece off. With a hammer. Yep. There you go. Throw it in there and get it hot.
Try to keep it a little flatter, buddy. Like that, yeah, that part flat. And he said you can come up high and get real good hits because that makes better texture. Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay, but
Taking a moment, show them what's in there. Once that gets hot, let me know. Let's take a look. Very good. Nice start. And keep going. Okay, let me throw it in there and then I'll do one and I'll show you. Okay? British, are you ready? So I'm going to have you hold the hammer and I'm going to hold the steel. You use both hands, okay? You ready? You're going to use the both feet on the side of the hammer here.
what?
Yes. Let's hammer away. Big hits. There you go. The whole thing in hammer parts, right?
The texturing is to make it look like a real deer. Does that make sense?
Touch my hand with the hammer. Come down. Bring the hammer higher. Hammer higher. There you go. All right, let's get out of here. Good job. You see those little marks in there? We want those little marks all over the deer. Okay? Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, we're out here. All right. I got the cross beam here. Yep, perfect. We're going to start in the middle. Kind of spread it out. And really just on the ends. Okay. Come in here.
See, if we wait for him to get done, then me and Shayna can be working over here with that tool, and you can work here, and we have the guys to help us. Because Branch will probably still be working on his.
Oh yeah, we can slip that under. You guys can start throwing your
Okay.
yours in also.
We were kind of like, oh, we'll wait for him to get done because he's about there, but.
No, absolutely. There's more tongs here, so.
All right.
Yep.
Around it. Just put it.
Yep.
Is that far enough in?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, as long as it's in there, it's gonna get.
Okay.
Yep. We're just gonna wait for it to heat up, and then you can throw yours in whenever you're ready to.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no height in there. The steel can stack on top of each other.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna get hot.
All right.
You doing anything? Okay. Let's throw yours in.
There's plenty of room next to mine over here.
Yep. Top's gonna be hot though, so we're gonna grab the top.
Really appreciate your time with this. This is awesome.
Likewise.
Yeah. So there's room there next to mine. I knew once he figured it out. I knew once Wyatt figured it out, he could like help.
That's the first part of it, is everybody just getting a little cookie, right? Yeah, teamwork is encouraged for sure. Steal it while the other one's hammering. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. And, yeah. So do I want it like turned a little?
Okay. All right. So where the line is, you want to put that right on the cut there. Good. Grab the hammer and give it some gentle taps. There you go.
Right. Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
There, got to start.
Thank you.
Perfect. And all the way down.
I was trying to get a better grip.
Good. Now let's hang it. Let's use the edge of the handle to open it up a little further.
Okay.
There you go. Good. There we go. Let's get it hot again.
All right. Nope.
There we go. Oh, let's put it back in. It's yeah. Yeah.
When we pull that out, see how it makes it teeny right there? See how this is not laying flat? Where it pulls it out, flat. With this side of the hammer. So when I lay it down, it's right there with this side of the hammer, and flat out.
There you go. You need some help holding it? All right, that's right. Oh, you got it.
You gonna help her, Ben?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Can I have your phone? Right? Okay.
Oh, sorry. My hammer's all over the place.
Yeah, not just this. Here, get it like, yeah, stood up. Yeah.
This is his favorite thing, watching things burn and beating it.
That's what he does with bugs, so at least he's doing it with metal now. Always an adventure with the hammers. No? Like,
Let's see, I think it's this one. Let's see, we're gonna turn it this way.
okay.
Not spicy.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go. Good. All right. Now let's give it a good coat of wax right in the middle. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that
Nice.
cleaned up nice.
Yeah, very cool. So next we're gonna have to chisel cut the top now.
Okay.
So we'll get that hot.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, that turned out really neat. We're gonna all go home tonight and bust out the tapper and engrave our stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You wanna get some video of her again?
Oh, that's right. All right. Like that.
I think.
Yeah, it does.
How's it going, Branch? Yeah, is yours almost done?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
I will turn it into a anchor.
Awesome. So we're gonna grab the puppy, gonna flip it around, and then we're gonna get the hook part hot. Okay. Is it? All right. Let me grab my hammer.
How's it going, Wade? Are you sanding it? You sanding it? He says. Do you catch him sanding? I know your phone isn't perfect, but
You help Sandy good. I can help you. Make sure you keep it wet too.
Stop when I start video.
oh, that's funny. Can I see your phone real quick?
So we're all done with the hammer. You can set the hammer right underneath the hammer there.
All right. I think I'm ready to cut mine. Where's the these?
So, see, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna hold it. Go right ahead.
All right.
Take it. One more bigger. There we go. All right. So let's push it up to the cut.
Okay.
So for his, we're gonna quench just the curly cube.
Okay.
Okay.
So just to the cut.
Go out. Yep.
All right.
All right. Then we're gonna hang that part over the edge of the anvil. Flip it around the other way. Yep. It's hanging over this way. There we are.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
There you go. Make it. Nice. All right. Let's take a look. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's take it and put it in the water. Quench the whole thing. There we go. All the way in. And give it a good swirl. Swirl. Like the big go. All right. So pull it on out. You can use the back of your hand to make sure you don't get any heat. You don't feel any heat. You get anything tap. Okay. So back. You get the heat coming off of it. Nope. So give it a quick tap. Feel hot? Okay. So let's see if it'll hot. There you go.
I'll tell you, you got some future classmates here. You're paying to come in and do some lessons with you.
Okay.
Watch while I do it. All right. Borrow the tongs.
Yeah.
So we're going to use the cross beam. Cross beam, and you hit.
Here, Shayna, watch this too, because we're gonna do the same.
When you hit with a cross beam, the steel spreads opposite the beam. So
Okay.
if you have your cross, say the part that's sticking straight up, you're going to want to hit this way. The steel's going to spread this way. Right?
Okay.
So I'll do it and show you. So
Okay.
I like to explain it and then show.
All right.
It's the top. It's kind of the hard one, so we'll figure it out. All right, so you're going to come in just at the edge of the hammer. We're going to get right in the center. Kind of squish that steel out. Once we squished it out, then we can rotate the hammer to push that steel.
Okay.
That's what creates a kind of fan,
Oh, I love it.
right?
Okay.
All right. And then I have another cross feed.
You have black all over your face.
Here's the cross feed. Okay.
Ah.
Side, right? That's right there.
Good job, bud. Just kind of hit it like that. Already need it hot again.
Yeah. No. Try not to quench tongs because they're made out of tool steel, but sometimes they just
How are you doing? Any snow?
I think I'm all right. He's kind of walking me through. Huh, that was starting to get a little hot.
Flat, yeah. You kind of roll your. Yeah. Let's see.
It's like, how is only my eyeballs sweating?
It's great. You gotta throw some holes in it now.
So don't touch your belt buckle right now. Don't touch your belt buckle right now. One time in college, I was taking a welding class, and I walked outside and opened up my jacket because I was hot. And when I went back in to keep welding, I forgot to button it, and I had a heart-shaped necklace on. And I continued all my welding, and the next day, like, my whole chest was burned except for a heart shape right in the middle. They actually took a picture and hung it on the wall in Shaw.
This is what you go.
Right?
I was probably 16, and I went to a concert. It was an arena that was grass and seats, and the local radio station said if we can craziest person we see walking around with the radio station, you can we'll give you front row seats.
Uh-huh.
And so me and a couple of friends decided to face paint the radio station all over our face.
Oh, buddy.
But we were outside all day. So for the next week, we advertised the radio station with our sunburn.
That'll do it.
That did it.
Ah.
Did you get the crossbutt seats?
So I went to pick it up by the already fanned end and kind of re-squished it.
Nice. That's it. You got it.
Seems to be working. Ah, until I do that. Ah. Just gotta even get a grip on it to put it back.
Yeah, I find if you can put it in the way that you want to take it out. Already did great. This has been a blast. It's fun. I will be back to do some face classes. Nice. I got a very small taste of ironwork in high school. I got that. I just never, since then, never knew really where to go to learn it. Sure. We love doing this kind of stuff.
It's like doing like a weird thing over there, so I'm trying to like even it out.
It just comes with being comfortable in practice, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny, a lot of times if you're trying to spread steel like that, and one side's spreading more than the other, it's usually because you're trying to work in the same culture. Or there's also a natural way people favor, either pulling to or pushing away.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for joining us today on the Homestead Education Podcast. We had such a great time doing an on-site show. If you're interested in being a guest, or even better, if you're interested in having us come check out your workshop and what you guys do, we love traveling, especially in the Pacific Northwest. So reach out to us, and until next time, keep growing.